What's up, YouTube? New day in the shop, so we're going to keep working on our reclaimed rosewood box. So we've got the finger joints done, so if you didn't see that, check out yesterday's video. And now we're going to work on putting the bottom in and putting the top in. So I've got the bottom dried, it's ready to go. So we need to plane this down and get it to the thickness that we want. And then I think I'm going to also reduce the thickness of the lid because it just feels a little bit thick to me, a little bit clunky. So we are going to get those taken care of, then we'll work on the grooves in our box. And the way this is designed, the ends here, we can do a through groove, but the long pieces, we're going to have to do some sort of stop dado. Otherwise, you would see the groove poking out the end. That means instead of doing it at the table saw, we're going to have to go over to the router table. The glue up went uneventful, which is a good thing. So now I'm going to work on the lid. And I mentioned this in another video, I have this piece of figured walnut that I'm excited to use. So what I need to do is I need to cut it so that it fits to size, giving myself a little bit of room for expansion and contraction, but I also don't want it sliding around. And then I want to do an inlay here on the end. So I got a piece of brass, and the part that you put your thumb at, I'm going to inlay the brass in, but I also wanted to stick up just enough so it gives your thumb something to grab onto, but then also I would like the brass to be as flush as possible to the sides of the box. I think it would give it like a really cool, clean look. I have my brass cut to length, and now it fits right in there on top of my lid, and that's going to give it a really cool look. Now I was going to inlay it, but I don't really think that there's a purpose to it because it would just be just underneath the surface, and it's already nice and flush with the edges of the box. So I think I'm just going to glue it straight onto the box. And I get this question a lot. How do you attach metal to wood, and what's going to be the strongest method to use? I use CA glue for this. I've done it for years and never had a problem. And just to show you, I did a quick test. I scuffed up the back of this piece of brass with 120 grit, put CA glue on it, stuck it on there, sprayed it with accelerator. It ain't coming off. And the lid of this box is so thin, it's not going to expand and contract and break that glue off. Now, somebody could say, well, I could pry it off with a crowbar. Why are you taking a crowbar to your box? That doesn't make any sense. So for something like this, decorative functions like that, this is going to be perfect. I got enough room, enough lip there to put my thumb to pull the lid off. It's going to be a nice tight bond. So I think that's what I'm going to do. This turned out really nice. When I first looked at that piece of rosewood, I wasn't sure what was salvageable and what wasn't. I mean, it looked like it was in a pretty nasty fire, but we filled some of the cracks in it, some of the voids. This looks great. It's really heavy. The figured walnut looks fantastic with the rosewood, and I really like that brass accent. It's just that little bit of extra that it needed for this project. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, consider subscribing and hit the bell notification so you'll be aware of the next video that I post. And please share this with somebody who might enjoy this sort of content. And until we meet again, get in your shop and build something awesome.